All right. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I mean, we've never had this poor signal problem before, but I am back. And so let me know if you can hear me or see me. If you can't, I don't know what to tell you. Um, so, can you hear me okay now? Is everything okay? Can you hear me? Again, welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoons. It's a beautiful day to be alive. I sure hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing well. I think I'll just, hey, Cayce and Keith, how you doing, bro? So, anyway, I'm going to just start over since I guess nobody could hear or see me. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. And so, anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been an amazing week for me. And I thank you for joining me. And so it all started last Saturday. I quit smoking. And so it's been a week now. And it's been really effortless, feels real good. And quit coffee, that was about going into 6 days ago now. And I also have, I'm starting to fast today. I've been going through all my food and, doing less and less each day. Went through all my fruit. And so... somebody on what's up? Anyway, things are good. It's great. Yesterday I found a new home for the cats. Thursday, my mail lady Mary, she's such a great networker, and I got a great story about Mary. You're gonna love this story. She's awesome. Anyway, Mary pulls up next to me while I was on my walk. And she's like, hey, how you doing? Hi, Mary, how are you? It's always nice to see her. She's so charming. She's so cherub and sweet. And she goes, hey, did you have any luck with those cats yet? And I said, no, not yet. It's been a couple weeks and I'm still waiting. And she goes, well, you know what? I've been asking around, and there's a guy that loves cats that's right down the end of the road here. You just go down there. She gave me his address and his name, John, at 3611. and I said, well, cool, so I went on my walk, and then I came back and got in the van, and I drove down there to introduce myself to John and told him all about Baba and Muji. And he said, yeah, man, no worries. And they have like signs out that say cat crossing and stuff. They love cats. I mean, they're just way into cats. They got a big barn. They got a big house. They got a garage. I mean, I don't know how many cats they got, but they take care of all of them. They take them to the vet. They get them all fixed. They do all the stuff. They just love cats. So I said, cool. And he gave me a transporter. And so we made an arrangement for me to bring them back yesterday. So yesterday at 11 a.m., I dropped them off to their new home where they'll be surrounded by other cats and people who love them and care for them. And so I started my morning yesterday early. Because I've been looking forward to the day the cats were gone so I could really jam on the crib, really like have the crib all dialed up in a way that I wanted without the cats fucking it up all the time, which they did. And always fucking with me too. Didn't happen anymore. So yesterday I moved all my aged urine out from under the bed. And I got 56 gallons. Out there in storage, man. And I'm going to show you some cool shit here. I'm just going to finish telling you the story, but I'm going to show you some really cool stuff. So anyway, I've been planning for a while to get rid of the bed and adapt to not sleeping on a bed. Now, I've never done this before, sleeping on the floor or hard surface or whatnot, and everybody keeps recommending it. And my sweetie pie, she's been doing it for a long time. And so I figured, well, I better start just figuring out and preparing myself. So in preparation, I pulled the mattress because all this extra, I had 22 gallons still underneath the bed that I needed to move out to the tractor trailer storage. And so I pulled the mattress. Old school, queen size, floppy, just spent mattress. And so I pulled it and I stood it up. Oh man, the cats were having fun now. New jungle gym. I kept them preoccupied. They were just like racing up and down and over and back and through and across and everything. They were having a really great time. And so that allowed me to pull all the bedding, get all the stuff, get things starting staging, get all that, all those gallons of pee out from underneath the bed, and start staging them up because it's like 50, 60 yards or something to the tractor trailer where I have this storage stuff. So anyway, I was doing all of this before 11 a.m. I had gone for a morning walk. I had pulled the bed. I had pulled all the urine, got the bed moved out there by myself. I don't know how I did this shit, man. Carried it on my head, big old floppy queen-size mattress, and humped it and hurled it up into a tractor trailer. It wasn't that pretty, but I did it. I got the house all cleaned up. I got the yard all cleaned up. I got all this shit dialed, then drove them off. Came back. Finished doing what I was doing for a minute, went and played 18 holes of golf, came back, finished up again, and man, it's just like, wow, I slept on this, what I did. Now, here's the deal. It's a platform bed, and it just had a mattress, so there was no box spring or anything. It was just a mattress on this platform that has storage built under its trailer. So, and it's hinged. Without the mattress, man, you can just hinge this thing up, and it's got hydraulics and just lifts and you can get underneath. With the mattress on, you had to prop it with a 2x4 just because it was so heavy. And hey Roz. And so now so what I did, because I in preparation for my dear heart, I bought some seats for my van so that I could have accommodation, because my sweetie, it involves children. And so that too. So, as a matter of fact, I'm watching a slideshow right now. I got a slideshow of my sweetie and the kids. And man, it's going to be happening soon enough. You're all going to learn. You're going to find out why I am a happy camper, why I'm so excited. This is like the woman of my dreams. So anyway, now I got the pad that I took out of my van that I cut out because I had to pull all the rubber back when I had to find where to hook the seats in. So I did all that. So I had the pad. I had a carpet section that I had in my van under my bed. And so I had the idea, man, these are going to work. So, and they did. They fit perfect. I put the pad down. I cleaned up this section of carpet. I put it down. Then I put a sleeping bag down, and then I had these sheets that were from my my mattress. I have a memory foam mattress that I had in the van. So I got all these layers down, and then I put my blankies and my pillows, and I slept in it last night. Now, to be honest, that was my hips were hurting. I finally, in the middle of the night, I had to pull one of my pillows and put it under my hips because it was a little too much. Now I feel fine today. I mean, I was sore this morning. I was, but I got up and moved around, did my walk, and I'm back. And so anyway, I've been staging all my urine, and man, I got some goods, I got some goods. Now, these two, I'm going to show you some stuff. And actually today I'm starting my fast, okay? I'm going to be on a urine therapy, total urine therapy. And I was thinking about this, on my walk. I was thinking, these people protest, and they go on these like hunger strikes, and I'm not on strike. I'm not hungry. I'm actually going to bat and hitting, man. I'm going to hit home runs on this one, and it's not going to be it's a energy fast, a fast energy hit, man. And you know what? You know how long I'm going to do this fast? You know how long? Tell me, because I don't know. I'm actually starting it today, and I'm going to continue it at least until my sweetie and the family show up, whenever that is. So that could be days, could be weeks. I have no idea. But I'm going to keep fasting because you know why? I'm going to be pumped full of fucking energy big time. I'm going to be so healthy, just so righteously healthy. So I'm going to show you, like this right here. This baby is one of the oldest. This one has been staging in my aged urine now for, and you can see the Oramus collecting there on the bottom of that one. Now this one is also as old, or, you know, close. These are my oldest containers. Now, look at how dark this one is. And this one, you can still see Ormus on the bottom there. Now, what's really cool about this one? This was the one that was copper fused. Okay, these were under the bed. This one had the copper coming in from outside. Hey, John. Welcome, Holland's in the house. So this one has been aging for well over a year, and has been copper fusing for a couple of months. And so, you know, for all those that haven't ever seen these before, this is what my Oramus. This is like a collection bottle that I transfer, you know, my aged urine in and transfer stuff. So I got 56 gallons. Man, am I going to get some Oramus. I'm so jazzed. So, anyway, I'm going to take my first hit, okay? So today's day one of my fast, and I am going raw. Raw, raw, raw. No food. Not even, well, I maybe a little water, little distilled water, but mostly it's just I'm intending to do pee, and I'm going to do shooters of my aged urine, and I thought I would do this live. I just wanted to show you the container first. So I got my shooter glass, and here we go. Oh. Oh my God, it's peeing in my cup. Oops, it's dripping. Ah, it's dripping. Uh-oh, I got a faulty meter here. Uh-oh, hang on. I don't want to lose all this stuff. It's like dripping. Oh no! What the hell happened here? Well, that's not good. Wait a second, gotta get a paper towel. Okay, I'm gonna have to get my mechanic working on that one. Because, you know, I don't want to lose that. That's valuable. That's gold right there. That's my precious gold. So, here we go. Now, I also want to note. I've never done orally aged urine. So this is the first. I've done them with my body rubs. I've done them with my enemas. But this is my first oral shooter. So, cheers. Wow, man, that's like doing a shot of whiskey. Man. Wow. I can feel that one on the back of my throat. Maybe I'm going to have to do a little fresh one as a chaser. Wow. Pee is the shit, man. If you haven't figured that out, pee is the shit. This is the real deal. So I'm going to keep an eye on my... oh, it tastes... Actually, it tastes like it really was like almost like a whiskey, a little bit salty. Now, that one was the one that was copper fused. That's been sitting with a copper wire fused in, grounded outside for, well, since early December. So it's got kind of a fruity, rustic, almost metallic. I don't know. It's hard to describe, really. It was gnarly, man. It went right to the back of my throat, though. It was pretty cool. And this is all pure food. Pure food. It's my own natural restaurant. You know, pure food. Ha ha ha. Fluid. All fluid food. So, now I want to tell you some stories today. Okay, so I've already got you caught up, man. The cats are gone. I'm sleeping on a board. I'm fasting. I quit smoking, quit coffee. I'm drinking aged urine. So now you're all caught up to speed on that. It's a new day in paradise. And so I am going to be fasting until my sweetie arrives. And I may keep fasting after that. I'll see. I don't know. You know, I'm just going for it, man. Yeah, I'm just going for it. You know, my guest coming up here next week, Monica Schute's coming up first, and she's certainly done her fair share of fasting. And then Teresa Allen's coming up the week after that, and she's doing a 30-day urine water fast, and she's got to be on day 24 or something by now, I think. And so, you know, there's a lot of motivation. And I just felt it was time. Spring cleaning. I get ready for the big move, you know. Yeah, evolve or die. There you go. And so I can hear the pee dripping over there. So I can tell it's collecting now in the cup. I got it set up on the sink board so that I got a cup under it. So I am collecting. And I'll just keep recycling that shit, man, until I figure out what happened to my little dispenser thing. I thought that would be so clever to just use it like that, but it's been sitting for a long time, and so maybe it got Oramus in there and it kind of got stuck or something. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to tell you about my mail lady. Okay, and there's a reason I want to tell you about my mail lady. Because there's some stories I want to tell you. I want to talk about trauma, you know, kind of early childhood trauma and stuff. And how some people end up real damaged. And I know I was one of them. Work on that and still work on that. Now, Mary, at 24 years old, she grew up not far from here in an Amish family. And at 24 years old, she walked away with her clothes on her back. She escaped. And they won't have anything to do with her. She is like loathed in the community. But this is a beautiful woman. Now talk about courage. Now she was oppressed. I said it's kind of like there's Amish, there's Mennonites, and the difference between Amish and Mennonites is Mennonites will use machinery, drive vehicles, have phones, and drive tractors, and the Amish, totally old school, man. It's all like horse-drawn carriages, even plowing the field. It's all done with horses and stuff like that. So to escape that. Okay, and I said it's kind of like, you know, kind of happens like that with some of the Mormon tribes too and stuff. She goes, yeah, I said, you know, I don't want to be derogatory, but it seems kind of occultish. She said, it's not derogatory, it is an occult. And so we got talking about it. And man, she's such a delight. She's a cherub. She's got this beautiful, just full face, and her jet black hair, and she's so present. And this is the thing, is that she got way out of that wounded child syndrome, and became a whole human being. And she made a decision that was hardcore, 24 years old, to walk away from her whole family and to be shunned for life. I mean, she's going to hell. I mean, they will have nothing to do with her. And she's married, she's happy, she's been driving the postal thing forever, and she's got a cow and got a milk cow and her cats and stuff. She's just a delight. I just love Mary. And so, you know, she broke through, you know, to the other side. You know, she broke on through. Now, I started out really damaged. I had really early childhood trauma, real early. As a baby, I had my tongue ripped open because my brothers that were taking care of me weren't taking very good care of me. And as a result, I ended up having my tongue literally ripped wide open, and they don't stitch tongues. So that caused me physical trauma and emotional trauma, because I had a speech impediment until I was, till like I was about 11 or 12. So it was a constant source of being ridiculed and harassed and teased and stuff. I also had, I was the youngest of 5 boys, and so I had a lot of torture as a child. And I was just emotionally a mess. I was a bedwetter until I was like almost 10. I chewed my nails until they were bloody stumps, literally, till I was 28. I just had problems that I wasn't addressing. And I turned to cigarettes and alcohol and sex and drugs and, you know, careers and, you know, all those things. I mean, just distraction after distraction after distraction, you know. And in the meantime, I was still wounded goods, you know, and I put on my happy face, pretend I was otherwise, and just proceed. But the fact is, most people, if you look around, most people are really damaged goods. And some people are a little more open about it, work on it, process it. And others just choose to ignore it, don't talk about it, masquerade it, hide it, defend it. It's really quite an interesting. You can see it in most people's eyes. You can see it in their pallor. You can see it in their behavior. And, you know, and it's even anymore. Like today, you know, it's like... there's still this ongoing war about the fucking salt, okay? And there's an assault on salt. Either way, it doesn't matter whether you're in or out, because people have strong positions about this, and it just goes on and on. And me, I don't give a shit. I really don't. And it doesn't matter. You know, to me, it just doesn't matter. Whatever you're going to do. You know, whatever people are going to do, say, and think, they're going to do, say, and think, regardless of what I do, say, or think. What the fuck difference does it make? You know, especially about me, I don't care. You know, so, it came up again this morning, and I'm being like, you don't have a position, you don't have an opinion, you know, you're sitting on the fence, this, that, and the other. Fuck off. You know, the fact is, I don't sit on the fence. I have a point of view, and I can have all sorts of position and posture and all that shit, but I don't give a shit, and I don't argue. I don't fight. I don't defend. I don't debate. I don't do any of that shit because I don't give a shit. Whatever people are going to do, they're going to do. What difference does it make what I think? What difference does it make, really, honestly? You know, to me, once you put yourself in that position that, oh, you got it all figured out, you know, what kind of asshole are you? You know, the superiority complex. Yeah, I got it all figured out. I know because I did my research. Well, good fucking for you, okay? Did you get a college degree in the shit too? Who fucking cares? People are going to do what they do no matter what you do. And to go around, beating people up, offending them, and being righteous about your position, fuck off. It's bullshit. It's just bullshit. And anybody who's got that kind of posturing and positioning and have to be like, I'm right. Well, good, you're right. Here, what do you want, a fucking quarter? Here. You know, go call somebody who gives a shit. Because I don't. Yeah, it's just the way it is. Now, you know, I'm open-hearted, open-minded. I love people, man. I get behind everybody, and whatever you want to do, man, do it. Knock your socks off. I'm totally loving and supportive person. That's who I am, you know. I just don't like to get into all that shit. Now, I'm a pacifist. Now, I made that decision at 15 years old, and it was for a very good reason. And I just couldn't stand violence. Always abhorred it. And I had several fights in my childhood. And they weren't very pretty, quite honestly. And this was after years of being literally tortured by my own brothers and their friends. And, you know, so I was a mess. You know, as a person, I was a mess. You know, lost and confused. You know, that's, I told you weeks ago on another Saturday morning, you know, about stealing cars and stuff. You know, I had turned in so many wrong directions in my life, it was just nuts. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about Leonard. Okay, now, Leonard was one of those people that was kind of like me. You know, he was abused, he was teased, he was unkempt. You know, he usually didn't smell very good. It's like he didn't have clean clothes, and he was a big kid. You know, it's like a baby Huey thing. And he just got picked on by everybody. Everybody fucked with him. Everybody fucked with Leonard. Now, I had this happen to me my whole childhood, up until the 6th grade. Now, I don't know what happened. I had the longest hair in the whole school district because my parents allowed me, and I was a beetlehead and all that. And so, I don't know, maybe I had a strange acceptance in the 6th grade by the cool guys, you know, whatever that meant. They were just a bunch of bully assholes. But, you know, they quit picking on me. They quit beating me up. All of a sudden, I was under the wing of this, you know, clique. And so Leonard was still way outside the box, you know. And so me being cocky and stupid and loose, this one day, we're coming in from recess and we're collecting the bases. And, you know, being a stupid little smartass, you know, I just said... Here, Leonard, catch. I had one of the bases, and I didn't even give him a chance. I just threw it at him and hit him upside the back of the head with one of the bases from the baseball diamond. This was not a very smart idea. Leonard was a big kid. I was 5'2". I was probably 100 pounds soaking wet, maybe. I don't know. And Leonard had to be 5'9", 5'10", 160 pound. He was a big kid. And man, he was just like, I was the last straw. I was the last person that was going to fuck with him. So this was early in the week, and all week long there was all this intimidation and, you know, horsing around, you know, and I had older brothers, man. I'd bring switchblades and shit. I'd just, you know, I was scared shitless, to be honest with you, but I was trying to intimidate him in certain ways. And so we were having this plan to fight on Friday after school, you know, after the end of the week. And I lived in the woods. And so we had, you know, a lot of woods that were right next to the school, right near the school. And so Friday came around, and like after school, it's like, no Leonard. I didn't know what happened to him. It's like, I didn't see him anywhere. And so I thought, well, okay, you know. So I went off with my friend Stevie Slee, went to his house, and we were coming back to my house, and we crossed the schoolyard to do that. It's about half an hour later, and all of a sudden there's like this big band of people like, man, where you been, man? You know, what's going on? Where's the fight? You know, Leonard, and Leonard's there. And it's like, oh, okay. So it's like about 50 kids, man. We marched down into the woods. And Leonard just starts wailing on me, man. I mean, he was pent up, and he was just way bigger than me and had a punch that, you know, I guess he was going to take out all of his lifetime of torture on me. And he was pulverizing me. My face was just like bloody, and he was like punching me shit out of my lights. And I knew the only way I was going to survive is if I just dove at him. My instinct said just dive at him. So I just went head first and just dove at him. and I knocked him into a tree, which he got some branches stuck into his back and stuff, which threw him off balance, and I got him down on the ground. Now, once I had him on the ground, I threw all of my body weight into him. I grabbed his arm, I started twisting on his arm, and I put everything I had into the back of his head, down to his neck, and it was like, you know, say uncle. I mean, there's like 50 kids here. I knew if I ever let go of this guy, he'd kill me. And so he wouldn't. He was just, he was so humiliated at this point, and he was so pissed off. He wouldn't give up. He just wouldn't give up. And I mean, I just kept adding the tension, adding the tension, adding the tension. At the end of all of this, he finally did say, uncle. He surrendered. And I lived about maybe 100 yards away through the woods. I just jumped up and ran my ass home, man. I was black and blue all over my face. I was bleeding. My nose was bloody, and I was a mess. And I was just scared shitless at this point. And I didn't feel like I won anything. I hated it. It was awesome. It was just awful to me. So Monday comes around. No Leonard. Tuesday. No Leonard. This goes on for days. Finally, I get called in by the counselor's office. Like, we want to know what happened with Leonard. We heard you had a fight. I said, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened to Leonard. As it turns out, I broke his arm. I broke his nose. 12 years old. I broke somebody's arm and broke their nose. Now, that's some fucked up shit right there. I learned that kind of anger, that kind of rage, that kind of crazy making, and it's like, not only do I not want to be hit, I don't want to impose that kind of violence on other people, because the amount of damage that can happen is unbelievable. Now, this goes into psychological and emotional. This shit's all deep. It's not just physical. That's why I don't go there with people. It's why I don't go there with people. Because it's pointless, it's useless, and it's counterproductive. There's no way to win. There's no way to win an argument, you know, in a debate. So what are you going to get? Oh, I won the debate. Great. Go to the head of the class. What are you going to get? A blue ribbon? Who fucking cares? You know, if you can't learn to cooperate, if it's all about the competition, how are you ever going to get along in this world? How are you ever going to get along? Because there's always going to be somebody, boy. There's always going to be somebody bigger, faster, smarter. You know, it's got it more figured out than you. You know, once you've got it all figured out, they're going to just work at their ass off to come and slap you down. I don't got shit figured out. I don't. You know, I got me figured out enough that I know to mind my own business, stay in my lane, enjoy the ride, and dig what life offers me. I got that much figured out. Celebrate every day I get because it's a gift. To me, it's all a gift. So, yeah, I got those things figured out. But all the rest of the world, what everybody else is doing, how they got it all, you know, figured out. I'm sorry, man. I don't think anybody's got anything figured out, to really be honest. Hey, Carol. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Daniel, cat's got a new home. They're gone. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, good home. Just yesterday, bro. Baba and Muji have a new home. Daniel, who's here, but not here. He's the reason the cats came along in the first place. So anyway, happy to report they have a home. They're happy. I'm happy. Everything's good. So yeah, life's good, man. So anyway, it's important if you're going to be a happy camper, you know, stay in your lane, mind your own business. You know, don't try to impose everything on everybody. You know, otherwise you'll never be happy. You know, you're going to be pissing off somebody, or somebody's going to be pissing you off. It's just the way it works. That's what competition does. You know, it's got to be my team or my way or the highway and all that crap, man. Bullshit, man. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. So that's how I roll. You know, this is just how I roll. You know, and that's why I love people. I do. I mean, I took that kind of abuse and torture and all that shit for a really long time. You know, I had, you know, some of my deepest problems, my deepest wounds, abandonment. You know, I've had to work hard on that, and it wasn't until a year in therapy I finally figured out what the abandonment issue was about. I'm going to check on my dripping dispenser and make sure I'm not losing any down the sink. Hang on, I'll be right back. No, it's good. It's a slow drip. Now it's slowing down, so yeah, it's all good. I don't think I'll have a problem with it overflowing. And it's peeing in my teacup now. Yeah, so yeah, anyway, the abandonment issue. Now, this is a deep one, okay? Now, everybody, I really do believe people are walking around wounded, okay? That most people are damaged from the time they were, you know, little children. Whatever happened, you know, something happened. Something happened. And, you know, until people can recognize it within themselves and address it honestly, they'll carry it. And if you look at so many adults, they're just wounded children. They never got over it. They never got past it, never quite nailed it, never figured it out. It takes a lot of work. It's a process, you know, it is, you know, and you can only masquerade it so long, but it'll show up. It'll rear its ugly head, no matter what. And so the abandonment issue was deep for me. That one went real deep. And I finally figured it out last year on, you know, with the, once I started doing the year in therapy, I don't know, I just got greater clarity on everything. You know, what was coming through in my heart, what was coming through in my mind, this stuff just started appearing really amazingly for me. And I finally figured out how to do with my brother, primarily. Now, this was the brother that was just older than me, and he was a musical genius. He is a total prodigy. At 7 years old, he was reading jazz charts, listening to Miles Davis and John Coltrane and Sun Ra and Thelonious Monk, and being able to play the drum set and keep, you know, 5/4 and, you know, 16/2 time and run all these riffs. And he was mastering all of the 21 rudiments. I mean, this guy was nuts how disciplined he was, and just I admired him. I just had him on a pedestal, man. It was like I was like a lapdog, you know, my brother, my big brother, my hero. And so growing up, you know, it was just like, you know, and we were only 18 months apart. And so he was my next closest, you know, and I was the youngest of 5, my oldest brother being 12 years older. And so, you know, I want to tag along like any natural, you know, who are you going to tag along? You know, I want to tag along, you know. And so him and his friends, you know, okay, you know, got to take the little brother, you know, kind of thing. And they'd ditch me. I mean, they'd take me down into town. And we'd all be walking along. I'd be talking, and man, I'm with my bro, man. I'm excited, you know. Isn't this cool? And they would just start slowly taking slower steps, you know. And before long, they were walking backwards, and then they would just like cut down an alley, and like I'd turn around, and they were just gone, just ditched. This happened a lot, and then I became a toy. They used to torture me. The same brother. You know, it was just mean. And him and his friends, they'd like pin me down, and they would just tickle me till I was just screaming and crying. I mean, it's still to this day, you know, people go to, you know, try to tickle me, girlfriends, this, that, and the other. I mean, I may end up smacking you. I mean, it's just, that was that fucking deep rooted for me. It was just fucked up. And then they would like, you know, hawk up loogies and drool it down and, you know, into your face and shit. They'd tap on my chest like a Chinese torture shit. They did this to me for years. Like it was just a game, like I was a toy. And still, I just admired my brother. I loved him dearly. And I just wanted to be accepted by him. And he, and so he started growing up a little more. He was getting gigs. I mean, he was playing all the time. By 13 years old, he was in the Northwest Jazz Quartet, playing all over the place. He was in the symphony orchestra. He was a monster. I mean, he could play anything. And started learning other instruments as well. And so we finally got through all of it, maturity, age, drugs, just all whatever. We started becoming more, compatible friends, and as we grew. And so then at 28 years old, he took his own life. Now, again, it just brought up another whole, like, I finally got his acceptance, finally got his friendship for a couple of years, and then he takes himself out of the game. So I never did the math, okay? I didn't understand, but I ruined my relationships throughout my life because I'd always bail. I'd always abandon. I would be the one that would leave because I was more concerned about being fucked over, so I'd make sure I'd fuck them over or fuck it up first. I'd just do it somehow. I'd sabotage the shit. Bad choices, bad behavior, over drinking, over sexing, cheating outside the relationship. You fucking name it, I did it. And over, lots of it. And so, how did that help me? Didn't, It didn't. I got a catalog of bullshit and fuck-ups that is a mile long. But I finally started figuring this shit out. And urine therapy really helped me. It opened up my mind, opened up my eyes, opened up my heart, opened up my pineal. Man, I'm just like an open book. I couldn't be more honest with myself and other people anymore. And that's why anybody challenges me on shit, it's like, whatever, man. I mean, you want to play games with me? Go ahead, give it your best shot. I'm a wordsmith, and I know it. I have a great master of my thoughts and my emotions, and I'm a very confident person. So anybody who wants to, like, throw darts at me and play cheap shot, beware, just make sure you know what you're fucking with, because, if I decide I want to fuck with you, I'll fuck with you. But otherwise, if I don't, if I don't care, I'll just ignore you. And I get people messaging me all the time, and, I get hit on all the fucking time. You have no idea how much I get hit on. And that's why I'm looking forward to my sweetie. I'm being very, I'm holding disclosure because of our own personal privacy. When the time's right, everybody will know. But I make it real clear, I'm not available. I'm not. But I get men and women hitting on me all the time, all week long. They like Facebook is some fucking dating service. I don't get it. Oh, hi beautiful, hi this, hi handsome. Hey, wait a minute. Why are you asking me to be your friend? Why? What's the point? And I'll go right in. If I get a friend request, and I always look, first I see who their mutual friends are. I look to see, I always do my homework on this shit. I find out who they are. Now, if there's not much information, I'll go look at their page. First thing, go look at their page. If there's nothing there, nothing to look at, nothing to work with, I go, well, that's pretty highly suspecting right there. But I'll give them the courtesy of a nod, and I'll say, I'm not sure why you're, I'm curious about your friend request. If you're interested in drinking your pee and doing urine therapy, and learning about how to be a better person and all that, then cool, let's be friends. But, if you're just, hitting on me and looking, for a hookup or a relationship, you got the wrong guy. So tell me what you're looking for. And I do that. I do that with everybody. I mean, I just do. As a courtesy, I do that to people. I want to teach them a lesson, number one, to make sure that they get it. That, like, what are you doing fucking shopping on Facebook? Why don't you go to a dating site where that's what people are doing? That's what it's for. And I've heard this from other people, too. I'm not alone. I get this all the time with other people. It's like, what the hell's wrong with people that they just, they think Facebook is a dating service. It's a social media thing. So I just, I bring all these things up because I want people to understand that, you know, I am a person that's doing the best I can. I don't make any claims about anything. I drink my pee. It makes me happy. It makes me healthy. I have a happy life. I have a happy relationship. I do the best I can to make my life work every day in every way I know how. This is what I do. Just be the best I can be. And I'm willing to share. I enjoy myself. I have fun. I love I love doing the oracles. I love the guests that I love to learn about people. I love giving people love and hugs. I love this part of my life. I do. I welcome it. I invite it. But I treat everybody with honesty, respect, honor, and dignity. Everybody. I treat people that way. That's how I treat people. And, people don't want to treat me in the same way. Well, I give them fair warning, of what is possible, what is so for our evolvement. Now, there's been a couple of people that I've actually turned around in time, and we've become very close and good friends. Earned each other's respect and stuff. They didn't start out that way. It just had to be elevated, turned around. And it's all good. I'm open-hearted, open-minded. Like I said, I'll work with everybody, anybody. I don't just shut people down because they fucked up. We all fucked up. We're all fuck-ups. Everybody. Just some people admit it easier. Don't try to hide it as much. But nobody's got it all figured out. I guarantee you nobody's got it all figured out. They claim that. They'll lie about other shit too. That's just my point of view. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if somebody came along that, perfect, the number 10. I told my sweetie, I said, man, the last thing I'd ever want is that, perfect, pristine Barbie doll fucking sorority girl with the pom-poms and the popularity contest and all the perfect little bows and all that shit, man. Man, I would pull out a gun, take myself out if I had to deal with something like that. This shit is so far out of the wheelhouse for me. So pretentious and it's unrealistic to me. I like the weirdos. I like the people that have a little color, that can bring something to the table. They didn't just roll off a pumpkin truck and land here. They actually they have some substance, some character, some traits, some stories, cartoons. And we're all cartoons, man. That's the beauty of it all. We're all just cartoons. Everybody. And the sooner we laugh at ourselves and understand it, it works out better, man. If we don't laugh at ourselves, somebody else gladly will. I mean, there was a guy this morning on one of the groups, and, he was just telling a story about how the urine therapy and how he's turning his life around, and how that, he's hoping the urine therapy helps his eyes, because he just he wants to stop squinting like an Asian to see. And it wasn't anything. I mean, it was just, I thought it was, what's the big deal? Well, he starts getting slammed for that. Like he's some racist. Like he's got, now somebody's giving him fucking life lessons about, how to behave and all that shit. It's like, fuck off, man. The political correct shit is ruining culture. It's just robbing people of a sense of anything anymore. You can't say anything without offending somebody. That's why I don't give a shit. People get so easily offended over nothing. It's all bullshit. Oh, you can't say that. You can't do that. Oh, fuck you. Watch me. Get a sense of humor. Get a life. Quit taking everything so personal. Now, there's a good idea. Here, go read the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take it personal. Don't assume anything and do the best you can. Try that on for size. Those are good walking suits right there. Those ones fit. People take shit way too personal. It's just not healthy. If you do that, then you got something to defend. Then you got to protect something. Positions, postures, belief systems. I don't know. Seems like an awful lot of extra work to me. I don't want to have to work that hard myself. Really, I don't. You know, somebody said earlier this week, you know, on one of my earlier videos, oh, your teeth are so beautiful. And then somebody else comes along, probably false. Like, you know, yeah, I wear dentures. So what? I don't make any big bones about it or mystery about it. You know, the fact is that even on the inside, when they made these, and they cost a lot of money, this set. Okay, this is my third set. They put my name in there so that when they're making them, they know, they remember whose or whose. So on both my upper and lower, it has my name in there. So I said to this person, by definition, I paid for them. My name's in there. It makes them my teeth. They are my teeth, you know. And the fact is, I'm going to regrow my teeth. I intend to. You know, it's come up in many different recognizable ways that you can restore and regrow teeth. Well, I'm working on that. I'm intending it. You know, I'm already working on reversing my age. I'm getting younger. I'm getting a lot more handsome. Ha. I'm just having a lot more fun. And I feel great. You know, so we'll see. But, you know, what's the point of being derogatory with people? Where does it get you? You know, with that smarmy shit. You know, putting people down. You know, what do you get for it? You know, what's the value? I don't know. It's just a question. You know, to me, it's not healthy. It's just not a healthy choice. Just not. You know, if you can't lift people up, can't extend into courtesy, you know, pay them compliments, tell them good job, you know, congratulations, you know, good for you, you're starting your P, you know, having a sense of humor about things. It's important. Now, there's a wonderful, delightful young lady that's recently joined one of the groups and stuff. She's just hilarious. And she's just jumping in feet first. Man, she's head first into everything. And so she wanted to know all about the enemas. And so she, you know, ordered and got her enema bag and stuff. And she was all excited, going to do the enema. And then she puts up this meme. Oh, it was like a disaster. You know, I don't know what happened, you know. And then she comes back and she realized that she is using the wrong tip, you know. I mean, if you get, like, I have one of those old school ones. I'm sure she bought kind of the same one. It's like a red water bottle, hot water bottle. And it has a douching tip and a enema tip. And, you know, it's set up for a couple of different purposes. And she just used the wrong. I said, what are you trying to do, douche your asshole, you know? And she thought that was funny, you know, and so we were having a laugh. And so it's funny how different people have the different interpretation about the message, you know? I mean, she has a sense of humor about it, you know? She is having fun with it. And I love that. I recognize that in people, man, when they start realizing their own faux pas and their shit and just laugh at themselves. Good for them, man, you know? Enjoy the ride. It's just a big, you know, it's a cosmic, we're all in this cosmic joke. It's just a cosmic joke, man. So, yeah, you don't get out of the house because you have the same trouble. And ghee def mineralizes them. Yeah, the ghee, I just finished using some ghee. But here's something I'm going to do, Keith, is that my friend Roz, she sent me baby teeth of her children, plus some crushed organic eggshells. And some urine that is actually a combination of her boys and her husband, because we all have the same, her boys and her husband and I all have the same blood type. And so anyway, I went out and bought a mortar and pestle, but it's not crushing. I'm going to get some other means to crush the teeth and make them more powder. I need to make them powder. And the point of all of this is to take them and the eggshells and to take the urine, and I'm going to take some of my own, some of this stuff, some of the gold, and I'm going to make a paste, and I'm going to start massaging my gums with this paste. And we're going to see if that'll accelerate and stimulate the gum tissue. Because I can actually, underneath on my lower, I can feel lumps. I haven't been to the dentist for a long time. No need. And but I'd be curious at some point to get an X-ray just to see if there's actual teeth coming up, because you know, I can run my tongue along my gum line and it feels like there's something going on under my gums. So so I just have fun with this. You know, I'm just having fun. I don't claim anything. I don't. I mean, I have my own testimony, and I encourage everybody to create a good story for themselves. You know, man, drink your pee, do something miraculous, change your life, do something cool, man. You know, have a spiritual journey, an emotional awakening, have a physical transformation. You know, tell us your story. Make it so fucking far out that everybody's going to go, wow, look at you. How cool is that? All I did is transform. And how did I do that? I drank my pee. That's all. This is the truth. Nothing else ever worked for me like drinking my pee. When I started drinking my pee, everything started working in a way I couldn't ever explain away. It just changed my life in every way. And so, am I grateful? Yeah. Am I happy? Yeah, I am. I'm a very happy guy. And shit just keeps appearing, just the way I imagine it. Now, if you don't understand the principles of this, what you think about, you bring about, how to hold a vision, how to manifest, you might want to look into how to do that. Most people sabotage themselves, so they never get what they want. They always fall short somehow. I know how that works because I used to do that too. But I'm manifesting like crazy. My wildest dreams are all coming true. Everything's appearing. Everything. I just put in my order. I just let it be. It's like finding the home for the cats, creating the mailbox, creating the beautiful dream woman of my life with her beautiful children that I have the opportunity to be a part of. To me, it's like, so honestly, I've had so many relationships and marriages. Now I'll tell you domestic violence. Here's a good one. You want to hear a domestic violence story? My first wife, Puerto Rican Italian in New York. I had a huge Amway business, huge. And my wife, after a few years, she decided that she was going to jump into the Sunday morning non-denominational service baptismal in a swimming pool in a fucking hotel in Orlando with 300 people, okay? They did a baptismal in a fucking swimming pool with all their gowns and all that shit. And I'm watching this and I'm going, oh, criminy snakes, man, what just happened here? And one of my distributors, one of my directs, his wife was out there too, both of them. We were just like going, oh, God, what now? What happened? So things went from bad to worse on this one, believe me. I was having a lot of integrity problems at this point because my life was starting to go down the toilet as far as I was concerned. She just thought I was the devil. And, you know, we had all these, we had gay people and we had all this, we had a colorful and amazing group. And all of a sudden she's starting to become more bigoted and derogatory and all this shit. And I'm the devil. Okay. And in the meantime, I'm out there in doing leaderships, and I'm in front of thousands of people on doing huge rallies and motivating people and in coliseums and blowing around in private jets and all this shit. And I'm telling everybody, man, you can do this. So oh, man, go, 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 Diamond. You can do this, you know. And I'd tell all these wonderful tales of, you know. And in the meantime, my life sucked. You know, what was happening in my whole life, it just sucked. So my integrity was way out of alignment, way south. I couldn't tell the truth. I mean, I couldn't tell the truth to anybody about what was going on because everybody I knew was in my group. So it was a trap. You know, even going upline or anything was a trap. So I started, man, I started falling off the, I started falling off a bit. This was getting real frustrating to me. So I started wandering a little bit. And my upline, direct, who was, I mean, I'd passed her years before, but she was still a direct distributor. I was an emerald at this point. And we started to have, it was at a New Year's Eve party at another one of our friends. And we were drinking and smoking, and we started talking about snorting coke and doing shit. And all of a sudden, we were just entertaining some other thoughts, you know. And so we were looking at doing a little hookup, you know. And she knew what had happened with Martha and all this. She knew what the story was on all that. So she was kind of, you know, enchanted, empathetic. We were adventurous, whatever the story was. But I was going outside the box. I was. You know, and so Martha finds out about all this at some point. It all started revealing itself. And she was stalking me. And she, I mean, this is really crazy stuff. This is crazy. It got real crazy. We had a studio apartment. I also had a loft. I had a big loft. I used to run meetings in it and paid a lot of money to have this loft down in Soho in Manhattan to run business. I also had a private roller skating rink in there for myself, which was way cool. And so anyway, we were running a big enterprise, $250,000 a year business. And so we still lived in this studio apartment up in the Midtown West Side, 58th Street. And anyway, she just blew a gasket one night, and she pulls out. We used to play softball. We had a couple of friendly teams, and it was no league thing. We just had to get together and have fun with some other groups. She pulls a baseball bat out, and she starts swinging this fucker at me. You know, in our kitchen, which is a real small studio apartment. And she keeps threatening me with the baseball bat. You know, and I'm bobbing and weaving. And I said, you know, what's this gonna prove? What's this gonna solve? And she's like, you know, I'm gonna bash you in. And really, you know, really. And this is a 5'2" woman, you know, Puerto Rican Italian, hot-headed. But I was 6'4", you know, and I was, you know, I weighed in pretty hefty at that point. Ate too many waffles. So after a while, this wasn't any more fun and games for me. And so, you know, I wrestled her for the bat. You know, I managed to get in close enough on one of her bad swings, and I got a hold of her, and I pinned her down. And she was hanging onto this bat, man, for her life, man. She's not, I had to literally peel her fingers away from this bat and finally get it out of her hands. As soon as I got the bat out of her hands, I just got up and stepped back. She turns around and grabs my French knife. I was a professional chef. She pulls it right out of the thing, and now she's got a 14-inch French knife in her hand. And now she's coming at me with the fucking French knife. Great. So now you're going to stab me. And how's this going to solve anything? How's this going to make our lives better? I had to get this fucking knife out of her hands as well. Now, I never hit her. I didn't, you know. I mean, I wasn't like, you know, I was just protecting myself. I mean, she was like, whack. Really whack. She had gone way over. And so, needless to say, my marriage was pretty much over. And being the nature of the business, I had to make certain executive decisions. because it's not the kind of business you can just split it up like, we can just sell it and split the profits. It doesn't work like that. It's all about people. I understand what developing people and relationship is about. So I gave her the option. I said, okay, it's over. It's clear. This is over. We're done. Now, I built this business. I did. I way built this business. She came along later and helped me, but, and I'm not going to discredit her involvement, but it was something I put a lot of work into. And so I gave her first right to refusal. I said, but here's the deal. Whoever takes all the, takes the business, takes all of it. You take all asset, you take all liability, you take the whole thing, and the other one takes a walk. Free and clear, walks away, no further obligation to anything. Not one bill, not one anything, walk away free. I said, I give you first right to refusal. You think about that. She did. She decided I was too demonic to run my own business. I have my own group. And I said, fine, fuck it, And we signed it away. I went to the Dominican Republic to get my Haitian divorce. And I walked away. Now, this is a $250,000 business, okay? We had a lot of asset. We had a lot of liability. But I had my freedom. I had my self-respect. I had my dignity. I had my skis, my clothes, my stereos, my books, and my pride, and I just walked away. $175 in my pocket. I walked away. I was willing to I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it. And so I had to start over again. I'd started over a few times in my life. I'd walked away from my professional chefing career to build this huge Amway business. So I was in West New York, New Jersey, in this little apartment. I was delivering New York Times papers, picking up $150 a week. I was working as a waiter in a restaurant. I was doing whatever I had to do just to make it. That's what I was doing. She came crawling back. She had the audacity with a friend to come and try and oh, why don't you come back? And I was like, why don't you just fucking leave me alone? We had an agreement here and it's over. Why don't you just go away now? It's over. I ain't going to play this game. So I understand what it's like to fuck up and pay a high price for the admission of this story. I just told you a really high price story. Big one. And everybody fucks up. I guarantee you. Some people do it in grandiose fashion. I'm a colorful guy. I got a lot of stories. But you know what? Who I am now, anymore, I'm a way different person. Way different person. I don't even know who I was a year ago, 4 months ago. It's just somebody I used to know. But I guarantee you the thing is, I am straight up honest with people. I have a real high level of integrity about my word. I keep my word with people. And I'm going to show you my true colors. I'm genuine about it. I have no secrets to conceal. Hey, you can fucking ask me anything. I don't care. Ask me. I'll tell you. Because to me, it's all just story. It's just a story. It doesn't define who I am. That's not who I am. Not who I'm being. Those were just circumstances. Those were things that were part of the makeup to give me life lessons, to show me a greater way. And now I have a life that I am honestly just moved by. I mean, the woman that's in my life now, I have waited for her my whole life. I mean, she is just the shit, dude. This woman, I mean, this is like so for real for me. And I remained after how many, relationships I ruined in my lifetime. I wasn't about to ruin another one. That's why I just stopped. I quit having relationships. I mean, I quit, almost, it was 11 years ago, I quit having relationships until I figured out what I was, about. But I wasn't going to settle for anything and just jump into bed with somebody else. I waited patiently, honestly. And she appeared. That is the point. If you don't have a vision about what you want, if you just don't have the patience and you sabotage and wonder why you fucked up and then blah, 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 you're going to have to take a look at that, man. That's how it works. This is how real time works. In real time, you want to create the perfect life. You want to create a life that is so memorable to you that you can honestly walk in front of the mirror every day and just say, I love you. I love you. I love you. Good job. Keep it flying. I live that life. I do. And it's not a narcissistic thing. It's not ego-centered thing. I paid a high price of admission to enjoy the life that I'm enjoying now. And I do it with a lot of love. I just have so much love and so much appreciation. I just adore people. I really do. People are amazing to me. And I have some of the most beautiful friends that I've ever had the privilege of knowing. Ever. And they're not just associates. They're not like just convenient. These are real friends. True friends. That we can be open, honest, loving, kind, just embracing all the time. Men, women, young, old, every color, every variety, every country. And I adore all these people. I do. I have room to include it. I can include everybody. Just don't try to play me. That's all. I'm just, I don't like to be played. And I don't play people. I don't friend people to hit on them. I use terms of endearment. I endear people. Complimentary. Always. I always look at how I can compliment people. And I'm not running for mayor. I don't need your vote. I'm not a shoeshine boy. I mean that shit. Because I love people. I think people make the life interesting. And the more interesting they are, the more interesting it gets. It gets very colorful that way. I love that shit. I do. I really do. And, I hope that we all have the opportunity to meet and greet, in person someday. I mean, I love Glenn, he's saying he loves me, and I do. I love him dearly, I love so many people so dearly and appreciate their friendship and value their friendship. And we have wonderful understanding of each other. We've grown together. Carol's another one. I appreciate you. Here's a person who's had to go through some of her own stuff, dealing with health issues and stuff. If we get our heads out of our ass and quit fucking getting in our own way, we'll realize that everybody's going through shit, one way or the other. Everybody has to deal with something. Candy, her son had a car accident. That was just the other day. Trauma happens. Drama happens. Shit happens. And we never know what's going on with other people. That's why it never pays to assume anything or to take anything personal, because it's not about you. It's just not. Everybody's got their own life to deal with, man. It's not fun or pretty sometimes. You just make the best of it. That is what I do. I make the best of it. I've had more people die in my life than a lot of people have ever actually even known in their life. I went through 30 people in less than 2 years that I knew that died. One of my oldest people I've known since I was a child just died last December. He's like the most recent one. And it happens all the time. So I'm used to death. Death is not new to me. But I also am, we don't die. We give up the meat suit. So I don't get all goofy about, when people move on. I just don't. And it's not that I'm not empathetic or I'm heartless or careless or callous. It's not that at all. But I just don't see death as anything negative. And none of us came in with a guarantee or a warranty. Nobody knows how long you're going to get to ride this pony. That's why I never take any of it for granted. I don't take any of it for advantage of any of it. I just celebrate it always. I just live every moment like I'm alive. Like it means something to me. Because it does. It really does. Life's a beautiful thing. And I'm just glad to have one. I don't know how many I've had. I don't know how many I'll get. All I know is I'm having this one right now. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it big time. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Just a beautiful day to be alive. And so, I love you all so dearly. I do. And I really have fun spewing. I should call it Saturday morning spew. But it's just cartoons to me. It is. I'm just a cartoon. And I accept that. I'm just having fun doing it. I'm just playing along, having fun. I like to get along with the other kids in the sandbox. I do. And share my toys. All that stuff. It's fun for me. And so I look forward to meeting you. I do. I'm getting ready. As soon as my sweetie's here, we're going to get settled in. And then I got a road trip planned. So I'll make that well known. I'm going to be heading from Missouri. We're going to be heading up through probably Nebraska and Wyoming into Montana, Idaho, and then to Washington, because that's where I'm going, to Washington to get my archives. And then I'm going to drop into Oregon, and we may, because now we have kind of the freedom, we may go into California and spend time there, come back up, go through Nevada. We don't know. We're going to make it up as we go along. But we do know we're heading on a road trip. And anybody that wants to hook up or meet up that you're along the way, give me a shout out. And I'm going to be doing the WEEDU Wanders. I'm going to recreate, well, it never really went away. It just got put on pause because I quit wandering. But, I'm going to go back on wander. And I'll continue the live Oran Oracles all the way through, no matter what, because I really love the program. I do. I love interviewing people and having those conversations and bringing so much knowledge to the table. And I'm going to continue my Saturday cartoons because I can, and I'm having fun. And so it's just one day at a time. I'm just doing the best I can. And I'm pulling away. If you don't see me on Facebook a lot, there's several reasons for that. One is I'm just, I'm making just different decisions. I just don't have enough energy or time to be on Facebook all the time. And I don't want to run the generator. I'm minimizing everything around here. I'm minimizing how much I turn on the heat, how much I turn on the power to get the internet up and running. I do a lot of walking. I do a lot of golfing. I like to spend time in nature and be in my own space. And I'm now starting a fast. So I'm going to be doing all sorts of changes. And it's not like I'm going away. I'm just not as, I haven't been inspired to write any poems for the last week or so. It's just been a lot on my plate. And I don't force myself to write. My poetry comes from a true source. I just channel that shit, and when it appears, I write it. And when it doesn't, I don't, I don't trip on it. That's why I always just share it when I'm inspired. I feel like it might be of value to somebody. Maybe it might be just entertaining. I don't know. But when I'm inspired to write, I write, and I bring it forth. And I got another quick story, and I don't know the outcome yet. This is fun though. I've made it through the first stages of all the publishing, and I got signed off by my first coordinator, and she was very happy with everything that I produced, and she was very cool, Sarah. She was a really great coordinator. So now I have a design team, and I've been contacted by email by my design team and my team leader, Kara. And she says that basically everything looks good from her end. They have all the notes, everything that I had put into preference of ideas and thoughts about how I want design to go. And so their team's going to start working on all that. And as soon as they have a prototype for me to review, they'll be sending that to me via an email. They'll have an electronic book for me to look at and see what I think. And if I need to make any corrections or adjustments or this, that, or the other, I have that opportunity. I can make up to 50 adjustments, I learned. But I'm pretty comfortable with what I turned in, and we'll see what the design team comes up with. But here's the next thing. This is the part I thought was interesting. I have a marketing person. Okay, this is the person that's in charge of getting my book out into the world, and that's important because I'm paying. We're all paying. You all helped. A lot of people helped out to get this book up and running, and I really appreciate that because I would have never had the money to do this without your support at all. And so, thank you. And so anyway, the marketing person, her name is Kelly, and she called me on Wednesday and said, I'm Kelly, and I'm going to be your marketing director, and I wanted to see if you'd be available tomorrow for a meeting. And I said, sure. What time? So she gives me a time, 10:30 in the morning. I said, fine, I'm good. So she called me on Thursday, and I was out playing golf. And I have no problem playing golf. I walk and talk to people all the time. I get on the phone with people. I listen to music. It doesn't disturb me. I can play golf and whack my ball down the middle, right in the middle of a conversation. It's a no-brainer to me. I'm out there doing my Zen thing. And so anyway, so we get on, and I said, well, I guess I should give you some background and some story so you understand kind of where all this comes from. She goes, yeah, that's the whole purpose of this meeting. And I said, fine. In my prior meetings with other people in the publishing, man, we were on the phone an hour and a half. I mean, my first coordinator and the very first guy, Logan, that I started working with, we know each other well. I mean, we talked a lot. He knows exactly who I am and where I'm coming from. And so so I get on the phone with her. And I start telling her, I kind of go back. I say, well, let's go back about 4 years. I started with my neck surgery and how fucked up I was and my body and what a mess and how I went vegan and quit smoking and quit drinking. And then, I'd kind of push myself. My hands were decrepit and blah, blah, blah. And then I learned about urine therapy. And so, all of a sudden my life was really turning around. My physical health was improving rapidly, fast. I was off medications. Everything was happening. And, shit was just, steamrolling at this point. My life was just turning around rapidly, dramatically. And, I wasn't 5 minutes into this phone conversation. And I said, I even actually have I have a beautiful woman that I've been dreaming about all my life. And, she's considerably younger than me. And, we got to this point of the conversation. She goes, oh, my computer, it just died. Can I call you back? I said, well, sure, you can call me back. She didn't call me back. The next day, yesterday, it goes on and on. I wait all the way up until really 3 something in the afternoon. Never called me back. Didn't send me an email. Didn't make a notation of anything. Just kind of bailed on the conversation like that. Now, well, this is kind of weird. So yesterday I called up Logan. He was the first guy. He was the very first guy that I got introduced, into Lulu. And him and I developed quite a relationship, and we got to know each other really well before I ever committed. We had several conversations before I was ever financially ready to make that first deposit and move forward. And so I called him, and I said, Logan, this is just kind of weird. I just wondered if you might have a point of view about it, or any input, I don't know what to think about it. And so he says, well, that is weird. I mean, it doesn't sound like her. She's been with us a long time, and she's real top-notch professional. I mean, she's a good pick. I mean, I don't know what happened there at all, but I told him what I thought that, that she couldn't handle the fact that the content, that was my instinct after not getting back to me. I thought, maybe it was like out of her wheelhouse. This, urine therapy and all this shit might be a little too much for her. I don't know. All I could do is make it up in my head anyway. So I mentioned all that to him, and he says, no, I don't think so. She's a real top-notch professional. I just can't imagine that coming from her. And I said, well, I don't know. I don't know what to say. He says, well, I see a notation. Let me, da-da-da. And why don't I can just connect you over to her. Let's see if we can get her, I can get her. And I said, well, fine, cool. So he links me over, and I get her voicemail. And I said, hey, Kelly, this is Cayce, wonder what happened. You left with a phone conversation before we even really got started, and you never got back to me. And wondering what's up. So I left that message with her, and I'm still waiting. I haven't got any note or call or notification, but I have a sense of humor about all this shit. I mean, I just do. I think it's hilarious. It makes a good story. I don't know what the fuck happened. But the point is, man, I got nothing to hide. I don't. I got nothing to hide. I tell people the truth about everything, anything. Some people don't want to hear it. I lost a lot of friends in my life because another thing is, see, I have a memory that won't go away. I remember details like nobody's business. I can tell you what you were wearing the first time we met. Shit like that. It's just crazy. And so I have deep files on everything. And since I don't have any, I don't hide shit. I'm a totally authentic person and willing to be honest about shit. And a lot of people, man, that scares the shit out of them because the last thing they want is to be revealed. And I've lost friends because of this, because they're like, what the fuck are you bringing that up for? You brought that up in front of my girlfriend or my son and this, that, and the other. I go, what the fuck, fun? Man, it's just a fucking story, bro. Really? Really? Like, you can't be that fucking honest with your own son or your girlfriend? Who's got the problem here? Me? Okay, dude, whatever. That's why I live my life in transparency this way. I mean, I do have posture and disclosure. I let you know I have a beautiful woman in my life. I'm just not letting you know who she is until that is on the table. And it's coming soon enough. You'll all know. Believe me, you'll know. But it's just our own privacy that I'm protecting, both of our privacy until that time is correct. But I make it very well known. I'm not available. Okay? So if you're intent to hit on me, quit it. If you want to be my friend, that's fine. I love that. I mean, I can PM people and have conversation, get on the phone, video chat. I can do that shit all day long. Women, men, I don't care. I mean, I have lots and lots of friends. I have lots of girl friends. And I appreciate all my girl friends. I do. I love them dearly. We have great relationship. We have a lot of laughs. And believe me, my sweetie knows all about my life. There's nothing hidden. She doesn't have all that jealousy and shame and guilt and all that other shit. Those were prerequisites to us even, we knew that we were perfect for each other. We didn't have any of that bullshit going on. We're perfect for each other. None of that shit goes on. We honor each other individually, absolutely unconditionally, as two individuals. And our partnership is about unifying equally, standing side by side. Nobody's ahead of the other. We support each other in our absolute unconditional imagination and creativity and dreams. And it doesn't, she's not here to make me anything. And I'm not here to make her anything. We're just both here to be who we are. And that's what makes it work so ideally. And we're both gypsies. She's a gypsy just like me. She's a minimalist. She just doesn't want all that excess like I want to be mobile, want to be flexible, and, live free. And so I found her. Ha ha. And I am jazzed. And believe me, you're going to love this woman. Man, when you find out who this woman is, it's going to fuck you up. And she's not on Facebook, so, people keep trying to figure out who she is. She's not on Facebook, so we met through YouTube, actually. She loved my videos. And that's what got her started drinking pee. Like many people, I've heard this from hundreds of people, that they saw my videos and started drinking their pee. I'm honored. Great, Awesome. But, she reached out to me. And again, she wasn't hitting on me. She just thought I was really interesting and just wanted to talk. I said, sure, let's talk. But somehow in that first conversation and from that point on, I just knew. I was like, wow, who's this? Who's this person? And so it just kind of evolved right from there. It was all innocent. It was beautiful. It just, and I always said that, while the whole time, my family, friends, why aren't you dating? Why don't you have a girlfriend? Why do I said, well, because at this point I know what I don't want. And I see plenty of what I don't want. And when I see what I do want up here, I think I'll know it. And I think whoever she is, she'll know it too. We'll just recognize it in each other. Wow, where you been? You're kind of what I've been imagining. And it was just like that. It is just like that. It's beautiful. We are in total adoration. We just adore each other. We love each other dearly. And I'm just jazzed. I'm totally jazzed. Life's good, folks. Life's really good. I'm a happy camper. And shit just keeps happening. I already told you, I spilled it out a couple weeks ago, planning on a celebration retreat in the middle of July in Virginia. That's going to happen. I'll let you know all the details on that soon enough, but I want to go and have the meetings and whatnot so we can figure out all of the whole program and the accommodations and, what it's going to require from a production point of view and also for recipients, so everybody knows what they can expect of what the intent is. But I think it'll be a really off-the-hook, way fun weekend. Kind of like going to a festival more than a retreat, but it'll be limited. My feeling is it'll probably have a maximum of 20 people. It'll be about the full level of accommodation by what we figure right now, but we'll know exactly after a meeting. So I'll be going to Virginia too after I get back from the West Coast trip. I'll be heading east. And that's what I love about my life. It has flexibility. I'm not stuck. That's why the cats needed to go, because I didn't want to be stuck because of pets. Honestly, I don't have to be weighed down. I just don't. And I like the WEEDU Wanders thing. I do that well. I plan on going all over the world at some point. It's in my imagination. It's in my dreams, in my visions. I hold that space. Just like that. I encourage you to do the same thing. Picture what you want. Imagine it. Don't forget any details. Just picture it the way you want it. Trust and allow it. Have the patience. Sit back and relax. Know it's going to happen. The universe works in magical, mysterious, and marvelous ways. You know, it's like I found a home for the cats. I was looking all over the place, calling all the rescue places, doing this, that, and the other. And how does it appear? My mail lady. Just like that. And I didn't have to drive to Colombia. I didn't have to pay money. I didn't have to do anything. I just drove them literally about 4 miles down the... I didn't even have to get on a regular road. It's all down the gravel roads. And they're in a perfect environment. The people who just love cats. How perfect is that? And I manifested that in 2 weeks. Just like that. Just held the vision. I relaxed. I was a little angst at first, people knew. The cats were making me pretty crazy. I was getting a little like, cats can make me crazy. But I just relaxed with it, had the patience to allow it. And it appeared in perfect time. So, it's all good. Have your dreams come true. It's not about my dreams. I mean, I'm making my shit happen. Make your own shit happen. I encourage everybody. Dream big. You know, don't forget details. Imagine your greatest experience, your greatest life. Imagine it. You can manifest anything you want. Anything. It's all possible. Once you connect. Once you get understood that it's all you. It's all an inside job. Take the helm. Fly this fucker. And don't crash and burn it. Which is what I used to do. I crashed and burned the shit all the time. Just kept fucking sabotaging it. But I know way better now. I know. Yeah, shit happens on the dream bus, bro. And if you really want to get to know somebody, man, go on tour. You'll see if you're going to make it or not. Just get them all up in a bus, man. See what happens. You'll know if at the end of the tour if you've got a band. That's true. So, yeah, I'm having fun. I'm going to be... I'm starting my fast, and I feel good, man. I really do. I just feel totally prepared, totally just energized, and I've been just scheduling the whole thing. You know, over the week, I've just been planning every step of the way, staging it, and so no angst, no cigarettes, no coffee, no angst. Not gonna do any more cooked food. You know, I'm just. You know, even when I go back to eating, it'll be, I'm just going back on a fruit diet for the most part. And, you know, if I do eat something other than that, I might. I don't know. I don't put conditions on myself. Oh, good. Carol, how long have you been on your fast? Carol says she's in the middle of a fast herself. And I know Teresa's on one. I know several people that have been in the process. And, you know, the thing is, when I did my other fasts, you know, I was recording every day. I was doing the WEEDU Speaks show. So I was doing a show every day. And I'm not going to be doing Instagram. I'm not going to be doing all that shit. You know, a couple of days. Good for you, girl. You know. And, you know, so, like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to fast. But I know I'm not going to break fast until after my sweetie gets here, because I'm going to be a magnificent machine by the time she gets here. I'm going to be so fucking healthy, it'll be like scary. Yeah, I'm just loving it. No, I am. I'm having a great time. I am. Yeah, I'm just loving life. loving it, loving it, loving it. And so, yeah. Anyway, it's just been a real privilege and a pleasure to hang with you guys today. And thank you for joining me. As always, this has been a treat. And I've had my little slideshow going on. And underneath there, it's, it's really sweet. I have a total of 11 pictures. That's it. And then we've been courting for 3.5 months, I guess, since we first started. And we haven't had the privilege of meeting in person, not required. We know who each other is. The more important parts have been, we're in for life. We know it. Our commitment's high. We didn't goon ourselves like both of us have in our past. Where infatuation and impetuous action kind of takes a precedence over the actual deep values that you build in a relationship. And when you get, when little Willie runs the show, an old friend of mine used to tell me, man, once you start licking and poking the pee-pee, everything changes. And it does, and so if you don't have your anchor secured, if you don't have things secured, you can get a pretty rocky ride. If it's all about, the sex, because sex becomes a tool. It's a manipulative tool. So if you don't build a strong, beautiful foundation without having that goof it all up, then you can run into trouble. And I have. I've just done it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I've done it too many times that way. So now I've done it a different way. I've built a real foundation. I have a real depth, a real secure, beautiful friendship. And we know each other. We honor each other. We respect each other. And we have all the time and space and room to build a beautiful life together. And I'm excited about that. I've waited a lifetime for this. Big time. So soon. When you see me noshing on some food, you'll know something happened. You'll know something shifted. It'll be happening. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're excited. So, anyway, I think I've said everything I wanted to say today so far. It's been fun hanging out, though. And I love you guys dearly. I really do. It's been a privilege, as always, to spend time with you. And next, don't forget now, Tuesday, Monica Shoot, a.k.a. Chunga Charanga. She's going to be my guest Tuesday, and man, I'm looking so forward to that. She was, when I first had the idea for the Orin Oracles Live, she was right in the top of my dream list. I've been kind of hitting on her all along, hey, when, so she was busy. She was, and I knew that. She had a lot going on with her book and everything. So, finally, Tuesday. And then the week after that, Teresa Allen, who's magnificent. You're just going to adore Teresa. God, this is an amazing woman, truly amazing. And then Cornelius, another remarkable woman. We're going to have 3 weeks in a row, just powerhouse. And I hope if you hadn't enjoyed Kirsten, man, what a dear heart. And we had Kirsten last Tuesday, and I just adore Kirsten. She's just such a beautiful soul, and she just brings a lot too. And so I hope people took a chance to listen to her, because she's pretty a remarkable person. So yeah, they're coming along. Things are happening. No more crackhead cats. Just me and my flatbed. My flatbed sandwich. There's no meat, No mattress, no stuffing. It's a flatbed sandwich. So, yeah, it's a new life for me. Things are changing quickly. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and, kind of bail out and going to move some things around. So, anyway, also, always keep in mind, if you haven't considered the Water Life Symposium in September, that's a really great way to meet people. I met some of my greatest friends, or I met in that opportunity, and they'll be in Vegas in September. And September 21st, 2nd, and 3rd. You can go to waterlifesymposium.com and get all the information. It's only a $35 cost for the function itself, which is pretty reasonable. And always keep your peace together. Always love and hug yourself and your brothers and sisters. Love everybody. Cut the crap. Cut the competition. Get with the cooperation. Let's get along. Let's quit fighting over bullshit. It's so pointless. It's so useless and so worthless to the bigger picture. It really is. So I just want to give everybody the biggest hug I can possibly give. Send you all the love I've got. And until the next time, boom! Ha! You've just been loved. And my battery signal just told me it's time. How's that for timing? I love you guys. Ciao for now.